Thank you, Khaki. Thank you for inviting me and allowing me to share what the coins are waiting to be shared. Each of them have been, storing a lot of stories and events that have been happening around, a good 2,600 years of coin history. So, because before I, start with the basic concept of coins, the coin word actually came in very late, but before that, anything or any commodity which was accepted as a medium of exchange could be termed as a coin. So I'll just start with taking you to a period where it was not the metal which was considered as a coin, but it was something else. So I'll just start it out with so during the the granaries during IVC. IVC is Indus Valley Civilization. So during this period, we found the archaeologists have found huge granaries in each and every house. Uh, During the whole, right from northern part of India right up to Dholavira, southern part of Gujarat or the western part of Gujarat, we found granaries in almost all the houses with a small tap in the end, allowing it to be taken out slowly and steadily. So that could have been one of the, what do you say, a medium of exchange for getting commodities from the market. Now, when this period ended, we still didn't have any proper commodity which could be exchanged on a larger level. So when the Vedic period came into the picture, now this is a very a disputed period since and disputed I would say because it's still dark. Not much work has been done on this period, and a lot of speculations have been happening since it was a little religious era, I would put it in that way. But at this point of time, we see cow as one of the top level commodity. और मतलब आज की तारीख का 2,000 रुपए का नोट है वो वैसा आ रहा था. So there are multiple references of cow being used as dakshinayans and payments and even stolen. So you've got Indra's cows being stolen and he gets back those 1,000 cows. Then there is what do you say, references of it being the topmost commodity when it comes to, there's a there's a story which we have been hearing in the school where there's this pandit who goes to the Ganga Ghats, and while he is coming out of the water, he sees a very wealthy man also coming out of the water. So all he does is like he just picks up a small sand or matti from the Ganga which is being floating around or something like that. He puts it on the head of the the merchant, and he says, Ganga ki mitti tu hi chandan saman. So this being a smart merchant, and he picks up a frog from the the river and he gives it to the pandit and he says, okay, Ganga ki mendki tu hi godhan saman. So you know the context of your was like each and every time a commodity have been introduced in a new way for decades and generations to come down and down and down, centuries also following it. But finally, in 6th century BC, this is where the first instance of coins comes to the picture. The coins coming to the scenario uh, is briefly described in all the texts which have been available to us. So, what exactly is a coin? If I have to put it in, a theoretical way or a definition kind of a word, I would statement as like as a coin is a specific piece of metal with a specific weight and issued by an authority. Until you don't have that authority mark on it, uh, you cannot call it a coin. It's just a piece of metal or whatever bullion metal which you have into it. So more, must of many of us have this question: could have what could have been the first coin of India? So I'll just come to that. Um, the reference of first coins of India is actually coming from the Buddhist texts, where there is a story. So the picture which you see right now is not a coin; it's actually a palark which was found at Barot, southern part of MP right now, and this was on the railing outside the stupa. Now, when the when the decipherment was made and then the his history was found out. So what exactly was this the picture was trying to say? So there was this person called Anand Pindika during the reign of Buddha, and his brother-in-law told him, yeah, you should come and listen to Buddha once, and you will definitely find much more peace. He was a banker at that time. He's one of the richest bankers, and we are talking about a area of Patna, or those days called Kosla Janpada. So he says कि okay यार, there's a एक आदमी है जिसका सुनना है तो ठीक है जाके सुन लेते हैं. So people come to visit Buddha, and he also is one of the audience at him, and he listens to Buddha. He's so impressed and mesmerized, and he asks Buddha to come to his place. Now he has traveled from Saviti, which is area near Rajgir, we can say around 30-40 kilometers away from Patna, today's Patna. So he invites Buddha to come to his place. So Buddha agrees. Now, since Buddha travels, there are more followers coming with him wherever he traveled. So he had the idea that there will be around a good number of people coming with Buddha, but he needed a place where he could ask Buddha to give a sermon. So while returning back, he was looking for a place, and he found a garden, beautiful garden. And on inquiry, he came to know it belonged to the Prince Jetwana, Prince Jet actually. So he said, okay, fine, I'll go speak to the prince if he would like to sell his garden to me. He went to the prince and he said, okay, bhai, sir, I wanted this garden. Since I want Buddha to come and speak. The prince flatly refused. He's like, oh, no ways, I'm allowing him to come and speak. So he's like, all right, but still, there is a very, you name a price. At least speak of something that could, allow me to at least get into it, whether this deal can happen or not happen. And offhandedly, he said, if you cover the place with coins, you can have the place. And since the prince was like, nobody can cover such a huge garden with coins, like this deal will not go. To his surprise, Anand Pandika agreed. He said, okay, fine, I'll do it. He ordered cartloads of coins to be brought from his place and started putting them on the ground. एक 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 करके अगर आप करना शुरू करो तो you can see people actually laying those, the tiles which you see on the plaque right now here is not actually the plaque, it's actually the coins which is being laid down. Slowly and steadily, the whole ground is covered, and news goes to the prince that your the whole garden has been covered with coins. And Jedwana comes to the prince and says, like, since the payment is made, sir, the ground belongs to me. At this point of time, the prince is actually stunned and he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He refuses on his words of giving the ground, the garden. And they both of them go to the king. Uh, the king, being the king, is like, okay, if you have said that if you cover the place with coins, I will give the place, you have to give the place to Anapindika. Now, the prince is actually inspired by the amount of money that was spent just for one person. He's like, okay, fine. Now, this is a small place which has been left behind, which is not yet covered. Please don't cover it and allow me to make a memorial or a gate for Buddha to come. So, in the plaque, you can see the gate also there being put up here and here, two places. So this is where 600 BC we have the first instance of metallic coins or silver coins coming into the picture. We still don't know what is the first or the which are the first coins of India, but the text speak about Indian history starting from 16 Janapadas, and Magad was one of those Janapadas, Kosla was one of those Janapadas. So this story belongs to that period, and this is where we come from. Okay, 600 BC, first coins of Indian could be traced out starting from that point. And this is how they look. This is from those periods. The one which you see on the lower part is the bent bar, which was available, or which used to be coming from Gandharva. The Gandhari and from Mahabharata. So that place still existed at that time. So 600 BC, Gandharva was also one of the 16 Mahajanpadas which belonged or were during that era. Coins have, again, if you see the coins, you just have punches on them, just symbols on them. We did not have the technology to put faces on the coins. 16, this is why they are called punch mark coins, PMCs. If you want to have a look at them, if you want to buy them also, they are available, tomorrow at World Trade Center. There's an exhibition going on right now. So, if everybody wants to have a look at them, you can have a look at them there, right in front of you. And if you get a chance to buy them, you can buy them also. But this is the first instance of India getting into the coinage. Now I'll jump to uh, this particular coin, because whatever I said before, about the 16 Janapadas, the Mauryan period, and Gupta and everything, Buddha and everything. How did I come to know about all this? We have been speaking about, all the text and all that, but how did we actually come to know about all this? If you have to look at it, we were under a good, 800 to 900 years of Islamic rule, parts and parcel of about all over India. Before that, nothing, we never thought something like this ever existed. So this is where, something revolutionary happened with I thank the British for this. I just a little thank you for them. They deciphered this Brahmi script for us in 1836, 1830s, 1840s. This was a person called James Prinsep. He was the mint master at Calcutta, and एक Monday to Friday you work, Saturday Sunday आप क्या करोगे? Pictures तो था नहीं, movies थी नहीं. The weekend was exploring India. This guy had the whole database, or I would say all the coins that were available to the British East India Company at that time from the northern frontier. Northern frontier of Afghanistan. All that. This particular coin, which when he started investigating, he said that this has Greek in it. It has two different scripts on it, which we don't know what it is. This script, it's all over India. Brahmi script, Kharosthi script, especially in the north, Brahmi script right up to today's Andhra. You have this script written on the wall. No, it's up to, it goes up to one floor. Whole thing is written. There are pillars, 3 feet and 3 floors tall pillars. Script is written on it, but you ask somebody what is written, we don't know. कुछ तो लिखा है पर क्या है कुछ मालूम नहीं. If you have to tell me how did we come about Indian history, coins were the key to that. You see, the Greeks, the British knew what the Greek language, or just the 7 alphabets have changed from 2600 BC till now, 600 BC till now. Brahmi as a script has evolved, and it is the mother to close to 40 scripts in India. When it comes to, what do I say, deciphering. So the first thing which they had coins which were Indo-Greek coins. So Indo-Greek means on the one side of the coin there was the script written in Greek. On the other side it was written in Kharosthi or Brahmi. Now only two kings actually made coins with Brahmi on them, Indo-Greek coins. But later when this Western Kshatrapas, when the Nahapan came to the power, you had all three scripts on one single coin, allowing James Prinsep to actually start deciphering alphabet by alphabet, alphabet by alphabet, all the alphabets which were available at that time. So if you have to say, he did get a lot of data from them. Only two alphabets he got from, which actually unlocked the whole series from the and Na, from the Sanchi stupas and those places when the inscriptions were there. When he saw Dhamma, 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 Dan, Dan, Dan being very prominent at the last two alphabets. Very important, just because this is the first instance of any coin having trilingual script on it. Now, the reason trilingual could have been because, or could have been because is the area which it covered spoke such variety of languages or understood such variety of scripts on it. Now, today, if you have to take, we go at war with the Chinese, and fortunately, we lose. They rule over us. They issued coins with Mandarin. None of us will understand it. Not put it the other way around. One side they have the Mandarin, on the other side they have Hindi or Gujarati or Marathi or whatever they have to put it up to make it acceptable to the people of that area. So this was acceptable since you could read it. So people who spoke Brahmi or read Brahmi, acceptable to them. They understood the king's name, everything written on it. The people in Kharosthi, which is northern, I would say, northern Kashmir, Ladakh, that part of area, they spoke a lot about. They wrote in Kharosthi. And Greek, obviously, Afghanistan, Iran, that area, Indo-Bactrian area or Greek area, Indo-Parthian, Scythians, that whole area, which was when the Alexander left back, was given to the generals who used his name and ruled for a very long time. Again, when it comes to this particular coin, it's looks like a coin which have been of a good, size, but this is not bigger than your thumbnail. Just have a look at your thumbnail and imagine 2000 years back, we had the technology to put a face and then cover it around with alphabets in one particular script. And then you have the other side again with two different scripts. Now, the script again, I'm talking about when it comes to Brahmi, it's from right to left. When it comes to Kharosthi, it's from right to left. So, you know, पढ़ने वाला भी सोचता है यार इसको पढ़ूं तो पढ़ूं कैसे. Today if you have to suddenly some words are just kept in front of you, you don't know whether to read it from right to left or left to right. It's the same thing with happening with the Indus Valley civilization seals. We have scripts on it, but we still don't know where to start with. It's close to 400 something characters being uh, updated till now or found out till now. So again, coming back to the coin, it's just the importance of how long or how uh, I would say places it covered to stay in circulation. Later, when they fought with the Satavahanas, the Satavahanas had their own way of converting this coin into their ruled coins. I would like to take a little jump from here to next 200 years, and I come to a particular era where Hinduism now was at its peak. Now, Hinduism means, I mean, I put it at this way, maybe all the rituals which were, described in the Vedas or the other books which were scripts or what were available at that time, these were followed to a T. So, how to, justify it? I put it that way, whether these things ever happened. So there's this particular coin from the Gupta period, and Gupta period I would put it in somewhere in the bracket of starting from 200 AD to around 450 AD. So good 250 years of the peak and the downfall of the whole empire. So this is a particular coin of Samudragupta. Again, आज की तारीख का अगर आप समझो ना कि 1 रुपया अगर आपके पास में है तो वो साइज का है. A beautiful coin, a must-have coins if I have to put it. If you are a collector, now we all have been, known of the story of Ashwamedha. Ashwamedha, the Ramayana speaks about Ashwamedha yagya done by Ram, and Love Kush capture the horse. So that's where the whole story is there. Then we have others also, like the last one I still remember, where Chhatrapati Shivaji actually rode his horse, and that's where he got the Chhatrapatiship. And there are many such kings who did this practice. But this particular coin is different because it tells you about the whole story about it. Now, what if the story goes such way that the king prepares a horse, a white horse is prepared with a couple of other animals, and he is allowed to roam freely in an area which doesn't belong to the particular king. The, outside the territories, the horse is allowed to roam around, and whichever territory the horse goes, that territory now becomes the new territory of the king. If it is unchallenged, then it goes on and on and on and on and on. Now, after a year or something like that, when nobody has challenged the king, when the horse comes back, this is where things get interesting. So when the horse comes back, the horse is actually tied up to a pole, Rajdanda or a Dvaja, and then he's sacrificed. So the horse, that's a very sad ending. But the horse, you can see the coin showing the horse tied to a pole with a flag on it. To make more things more interesting is like the ritual has it is actually the queen who sacrifices the horse. So on the other side of the coin, you have the patrani or the head queen standing with a whisker, or I would say a pointed spear, and she sacrifices the horse. So it's like she makes a slit, and then the horse is sacrificed. That is how the sacrifice ends, and then the meat is distributed to everybody, and with the other animals being sacrificed. Now, this is where the most other interesting part comes into the picture. Now, the other interesting part, which is not there on the coin, but when you go to when you investigate okay, what exactly the ritual is, the queen is actually asked to sleep with the dead horse. The proper mantra is, portrayed or the said. It's on a golden sheet, which she's again covered with golden cloth. And the mantras are just to get that valor of the horse into the queen, so that when she bears a child, the child gets that kind of a valor. To make more things interesting, we have stories about uh, Indra being cursed because of this. There is one story where I think Hari Varshma Purana speaks about it, where the king is sacrifice, having his yagya done, and the queen is asked to sleep with the horse. So proper ritual is happening. At this time, Indra enters the body of the horse, and the horse moves. When the king comes to know about it, he is like strictly angry. The sages out there are very angry what happened and why Indra would do something like that. He is cursed. And again, one of the curses of Indra is that why he is not worshipped is because of he entered the dead horse and with the intention of copulating with the queen. Again, the whole story just on one piece of metal which weighs just approximately 7.5 to 8 grams. If you have to ask me, 2000 years, 2300 years of pure history right there in this whole period. It's right there. We couldn't read it. After the hoard was found, people started understanding okay, something like that. It is not a story. It is not something which we just somebody wrote it frictionally. There was a friction or something like that. It's actually which happened. We have a coin again, one of the rarities to get hold of. This coin was, if I have to say, the first commemorative coin. Okay, the whole yagya was done, and this was distributed to all the guests or the dignitaries who came and attended that yagya at that time. We take a jump to a new coin now. Okay, this is a very interesting and very latest hot topic subject. So we all have heard about cryptocurrencies. With cryptocurrencies coming into the picture, it's like if I will not go into the blockchain one, but I'll just speak about what is cryptocurrency in a very layman language. You go to a casino, you give your money, you take your tokens with him. Now the thing about the casino is like that this is a casino which is global. So if this tokens work here, you take it abroad, they work there. To other countries, they work there. It was that kind of that kind of a scenario which is happening. This is not new to India. This concept of token currency was introduced by Mohammed bin Tughlaq in the 1300s, 1330, 1345, 1350, that period when he was there. So when he came to power, Mohammed bin Tughlaq, he said, "Okay, my boss, nothing doing. I need to make a huge army to take all over, go into the southern part of India and uh, capture most of the Indian territory, which is not captured." So he needed money for that. So what he did was like forced, कुछ भी है सोना चांदी जो भी सिक्का है, get it to the treasury, take these tankas. These are as good as gold and silver, even you can trade with it. Probably the first phrase, we still haven't pointed out where it comes. Probably the first phrase which came out, "Take sir baji, take sir khwaja." So it's like that, khaja. A copper coin was giving you value, goods worth values, which was of gold and silver. It was introduced. It had the inscription where it says, "Okay, bhai, please use this as, with the blessings of God, I have Allah, you please use this as the whole Sharda script on it." And they're like, okay, fine, ठीक है यार, use तो करने का. Now there were smart people there. There was no, what do you say? I have to put it in words. What do I put? What do I put? Security. No security marks on the coins which would allow it to understand whether this is a original or a fake. Now people came back to the king and said, "Ki, bhai, I have to travel abroad. These coins are not accepted. So why you have to change them with the gold and silver coins which you have taken from us?" So he said, okay, fair enough. Slowly and steadily, people striking their own coins at home. The jewelers started their striking their own coins at home, giving it to the treasury and collecting gold and silver in return. The moment gold and silver came in, they converted it into bars and kept it in the house. So okay, this is not a currency. This is a part of the jewelry which I have. 3 years, the whole treasury was empty, and that's where the downfall of Mohammed bin Tughlaq happened. Cryptocurrency, I have put it as that way. Like it hasn't got the backing of any other financial institute or banks behind them on a very large scale. That's why it doesn't seem to be in a good flow right now. Cryptocurrency or a token currency, if I have to push it. India was the first who gave it to the world. I move on to the next coin. Okay, uh, this is one of my favorites. I called them 1 BHK, 2 BHK. And the reason I call them 1 BHK, 2 BHK because they are that expensive. This coin which you're seeing on the the screen right now is from Jahangir, and it's a zodiac mohor. Um, Islam doesn't allow use of pictures, on any of it anywhere. So Jahangir came up with the idea कि यार जब राजा होता है तो वो कुछ भी सोचता है वाला का केस है तो यार let me introduce a coinage. I already have a coinage which is in place, which I have the king's name and the year and the ruling year and the mint's name. These were the first people who Akbar was the first person who actually introduced coinage month-wise. So you have coins with like if you have to today's if you have to issue coins with January, February, March, April, May throughout the year. So it was that with the Persian calendar. He issued months with Farwadin or the Birisht, whatever months that were available, they were replaced by the zodiac symbols. So here you have um, this is a Sagittarian coin, which with a fish and with the whole fish tail and the whole sun behind it. Now, जब तक चला तब तक चला भाई. When Jahangir was in power, he sort where they were some say it was struck in front of them so that he could give it to gifts as to give to other dignitaries who came to his court. But when Shah Jahan came to power, his son, he was like, this is not Islamic. So he issued a farman And he said, "Okay, whoever has these coins, his hands will be chopped off." And it was like a sudden demonetization. रातों रात एक कॉइन, एक मोहर जो मेरे पास पड़ी है, कॉइन्स पड़े हैं मेरे पास विद सिंबल्स, राजा का नाम वगैरह सब है, एंड दिस गाय टेल्स मी लाइक रातों रात बंद हो गया। तो करने का क्या है कि बंद नहीं हुआ है, यू टेक इट टू द ट्रेजरी विल रिप्लेस इट। सो यू नो व्हेन औरंगजेब केम टू पावर ही सेड, जिसके हाथ में दिखेगा वो तो हाथ में, पर जिसके घर में दिखेगा उसका सर काट दिया जाएगा। So whatever little coins were there available at that period, some even they were all lost, melted or returned or given back to the treasury. That's what. So there is one reference in the East India Company books where they have written that Prince Khurram came on a horseback to their post at Surat and demanded the coins of Zodiac and Noor Jahan to be handed over to them, and he will be replaced then by the Aurangzeb at that time. So again, when you say demonetization, we have it. First, so many things were happening again. There are more coming into this. There's just this, not just in gold, but they were issued in silver also. This is again how they look like. So if you have a chance, if you have on feel and see these coins, there are the museum. I don't think the whole set. India, no museums in India have the whole set. As far as last recorded, only three sets are there all over the world, and all three are in, one in the British Museum, one is in New York, and the other I still not too sure where it is. But fractions do come up here and there. They come for auctions, and that's where you get a chance to, at least pick them up. Next coin I'll come to. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Again, I'll take a jump to from Mughal directly to British India under the crown. So, the mutiny happened, and then 1862, 1858, 1857, the mutiny happened. 1858, the East India Company struck its last coin, and it was now the direct rule of the crown. British was now actually ruling India. So 1862, they actually started minting the coins for India, with the Queen coming into the picture. Then they more forward, close to 50 years happened. They ruled. 1911, King George V came to the throne. He was coronated in December 1990, 1911. Yes, and during the coronation, a proper photograph of his was taken with the whole, the jacket and with all the jewelry he would have. A particular photo was taken, and it was sent to the mint master and the, the engraver. Abhi aapko, now this will be the new picture of the coins, or the photo, or the king's new photo will be there on the coins. So engraver did the engraving, and then coins were issued. So this is a standard, coin which you see. You might be having it in your collection. All of us must have that in their possession. Now this year which is there, 1911, is very important. The only reason being, the king was there, nicely put up. Now the jacket and the jewelry on the coin was something which the Indian people were little uncomfortable with. So here this, this piece is taken from this. So on the jewelry, instead of an elephant, there was an animal which looked like a pig. So you have a closer look at it. The trunk is not there. It's just a snout tuck, and it stops here. So the coin was rejected. कि हमको ये कॉइन नहीं चलेगा. The Muslim community in India refused to, touch the coins. And since the British had already seen what had happened with the Indian mutiny of the cartridge issue, they did not want to take any chances. So they withdrew all the coins of 1911, all the denominations, charna, atana, doana, 1 rupaya, from the circulation, and new coins were issued. Getting hold of this coin is tough. Again, if you have a chance to, if you have it in your collection, wow, good. It's a piece of history right in your hands. Okay, that is where I would like to end my, talk about this part. And if you want to, whatever coins I have shown you, if you want to have a look at them, you want to buy them, Mumbai Coin Society has put up an exhibition. This is the largest. You can come visit. It's at World Trade Center tomorrow, and have a good time collecting. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was really interesting, and your narration was even more lovely. I think you've made the coins come alive with all the stories of demonetization and making them very relevant today. I have one or two questions. Just give me a second. I'm just going to pull them up. One was, the Rosetta Stone you said about cracking that code, the deciphering of the code of the script. So who was the mint master? Somebody's asking about the name again.
Mint Master James Prinsep.
Okay.
James Prinsep from the Calcutta Mint.
Okay. And there's another question saying, are tokens present in Janpada times?
Are tokens present?
In Janapada times?
No, not Janpada times. Tokens were basically replacement, for coins. At Janpada times, we had proper coins coming into the picture. The reason being Chanakya later writing in detailed about all the coins that were available. So tokens, no, not that. Even the gold coins were not introduced at that time. Gold coins came into the picture in 4th century AD.
Okay, because the same person is saying that he has seen, Dr. Shantan has seen a few Janpada tokens, and are they different from punch-marked coins?
No. The Janpada tokens, like again, if you have to take it, there are 16 Janpadas. This is 16 Maha Janpadas. Then there are loads of other small Janpadas. Under the Janpadas, then you have tribal areas. So there's a good amount of, you can, if you have to list it down, it will come up to around 100 or so. So you have Janpadas. I would not put it as a token as a word, but you have, one Janpada taking over the other Janpada and striking its coins on that old coin.
Okay. And this was a question I had thought of as well. Is the significance of Indra sleeping with a dead horse? I mean, what was the point of that, or is there a story behind that?
So again, like this is the story also is like, if I have to relate it, like when it comes to naughtiness, Indra is there. So Indra gets arbit. When you have a Ashwamegh Yagya, it's like you call all the gods and goddesses, and then the whole Yagya starts. So when especially with Agni Dev, you call from all the 10 directions that you have, you call gods. So even Indra was there present. He got aroused. I would put it that way, and he thought, okay, let me replace the horse or enter the horse and copulate with the queen.
Okay, that's an interesting story. Was there any way that rulers could ensure that coins were not forged? Was it possible to forge coins in those days?
So in those days, I have to put it in particular as to the BC Janpada period or the later stages or after that, because this variation for a very long time, 16 rupees made one gold mohar that stayed for a good 200 years, right from later Mughals to the princely case, right up to British India. It was after the World War II that the prices of silver and gold started going up. Till then, that was absolutely the intrinsic value. राजा का छाप हो कि नहीं हो, अगर 10 ग्राम चांदी है या 10 ग्राम सोना है, तो उसकी वैल्यू से आपको सामान मिलेगा.
Okay, so not as easy to forge.
Not, yeah. Even if it was forged, it didn't make any sense.
Correct, because it's a weight thing. Yeah. Which and where was the world's first coin found?
Last documented, I would have to put it is like southern Greece, Libya. Lydia is the place where they have found first traces. But again, this is just 1 century ahead than us. 7th century BC and 6th century BC, we have our coins. Now, if you have to take it as the coins, you cannot, it doesn't evolve overnight.
Yes.
So somewhere it has started, and then it has trickled down to this piece 600 BC, where you have actually documented the coins.
Yeah.
So before that, coins were there, but
Mm-hmm.
there was no documentation. We do not have any coin coming up in the Indian context. So
Okay.
Indian context 600 years BC,
Yeah.
foreign coins 700 years BC.
Okay. Ritvik is asking, how do they set the exchange rate of the coins within the Indian subcontinent? Were Mughal coins considered standard across India?
Yes, I would put it as Mughal coins put it as standard across India, because Mughal coins were 100 grains. I would have like it comes up to 1 tola.
Hmm.
The tola ka standard was flat all across with all the kings.
Okay.
So the rupiah, when it came into the picture, before the rupiah, when the Sher Shah Suri, we have the rupiah word coming from there.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where Sher Shah Suri increased कि भाई एक तोले का 1 रुपया रहेगा. So 40 dams, when you have the term क्या दाम है.
Hmm.
So the dam is actually a copper coin of is the copper coin again. The coin word was introduced by Sher Shah Suri. So क्या दाम है? So 40 dams made a rupee. So in that context, with 11 grams became the standard, and that's what was followed by the later Mughals. Before that, it was a 4.5 gram miskals or sharukis, which were used by the Mongols at that time, and which was introduced into India.
Okay. There's a question about how you can go about buying and collecting these old coins, and a related question about, are there legal rules regarding buying ancient coins?
Now it is freely available. Now you can, there's a proper market. There is, you can. There's no such rule that you cannot collect coins.
Okay.
It is just a part of, a couple of years back, a few of our friends went to the hedge funds, and they asked him, Kevin, if you start investing in coins as art, you have uh, people investing in paintings and other sculptures. So
Yes.
as coins
Yes.
should also be introduced as a collectible item, and you can have it in your portfolio. The SEBI didn't agree to that, just because we don't have the specific data of how many coins were minted and how much is available,
Mhm.
so you cannot have it in your portfolio. So that's where we stopped. So
Okay.
coins were not accepted as a part of portfolio.
Mhm.
And now when it comes to rules, you can collect how many coins you want. It's absolutely okay. And my next talk, I'll be actually taking up this topic. But what happens is like, okay, um, you go to your native place, or you're digging up your place and you find coins. So now the question comes in like that, okay, I found coins, now what do I do?
Hmm.
So there's a rule, okay, you found coins, it has to go to the treasury.
Okay.
Now the period from where the coins were found, or the dated till today, whoever is there in your lineage, the whole family tree goes up right beyond 100, 200 years, they all are stakeholders to this treasure.
Okay.
So you prove it to me and then take back your coins.
Okay.
So people are like, अभी 200 जन का हिस्ट्री मेरे को ही नहीं मालूम है, तो मैं कहाँ से सबका ले
I
आऊँ?
know that would be a
So
bit of a challenge. Yeah.
it's better to let it go.
Yeah. Uh, are there any clubs or societies for numismatics in Mumbai?
Yes, we have, again, the show is there tomorrow going on. There's a
Yeah.
Mumbai Coin Society is there.
Okay.
So you can be a member of that club, and there are weekly meetings happening.
Okay. All right.
No, sorry, monthly meetings which happen, and they discuss about any new coinage which comes into the picture. So that's a very interesting place to be in.
Okay.
Every 2 years we find something new coming into the limelight.
Hmm. And the last question is about, I mean, there's a question about this email being shared, and I'm not sure about that, but it will be up, the whole talk will be up on our YouTube channel. But also, if you could just just give them the information about the exhibition tomorrow again.
Yeah, so the exhibition is there tomorrow from 10:30 onwards till 6:37 in the evening. So there are stalls. I think this time they have around 120 stalls.
Okay,
People
fantastic.
all over the country come here. This is the largest one. Yeah. People from abroad are also here.
Okay.
So you have a variety of coins coming in, and you have an auction also happening tomorrow. So if you have a
Okay.
chance to participate, you pick up
Okay.
something nice which is there, which you think that should be in your collection. So or you just go have a look at that place and find out what else you have in your with your collection, whether you want to build up or you want to sell it off. It's absolutely okay. It's all open right now.
Absolutely. So that's at the World Trade Center tomorrow, right?
Yeah, World Trade Center.
Okay. So other than that, there are no more questions, but there are lots and lots of comments on how wonderful the talk was. So thank you so much and for doing this today. And we really look forward to the next one. And I hope everybody who's joined today will join in on that day as well.
Ah,
So thank you, everyone. And good night from Khaki.